Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Marketing 101. I'm Dr. Enrico, and this week we are going through SEO and more importantly, Google and its Google Search Console. If you got to go and you can't listen to this podcast right now, go to the Google Search Console on your browser and go figure it out. See you later. Have a great week. For the rest of you, let's talk about SEO and Google Search Console. A couple things here. SEO for search engine optimization, it is what it is. It sounds and is an acronym for exactly what it is. How do you optimize your brand awareness on the web so that your searches are optimized in your favor? That's what search engine optimization is. What are your people and your clients looking for on a day-to-day basis that you can serve them with the services that you provide? That is how search engine optimization works. The more of that content out there, the more Google reads it and sees it, the higher your ranking is. And then the nitty-gritty behind it is that the more links you can make with the content that's out there, the higher your ranking is. So let's say you're served like a chiropractor like myself, and you help people with low back pain specifically. You put out a bunch of content of low back pain. So when people search low back pain relief or low back pain or low back pain chiropractor or low back chiropractor, these are what we're talking about, links. So the more that your blogs and your website and your vlogs and your social media talk about back pain, the higher you're going to rank for those keywords. And therefore, you don't need to spend much money advertising them because in the back end of the matrix, your search engine optimization is high for those keywords. And you'll find this through your advertising and what you do so that you show up. Or you can pay for for Google ads for that, for search traffic, so that you do rank higher and you just annihilate your competition when it comes to back pain. So there's many different techniques that go on here, but it works off of proper search engine optimization. And that comes with the content that's on there. So working your website in your favor comes with a good web manager and you keeping an eye on your brand awareness. That's your job. No one else cares about your brand except for you. No one, not your staff, not your team, not even your spouse. You are the one that cares about your brand because it defines the backbone of your business. Really important to keep a thumb on this at all times. I say this all the time. You have to be brand aware of your brand awareness. So make sure that you stand out as much as you can to not only the competition, but so that people can find you. Loud, bright, colorful, informative, educational, and good services. That's the point of brand awareness. So keep on there. The task for you today is your Google Search Console. This is something I thought more people knew about this. Apparently no one knows about this. But you go onto Google and you go to the Google Search Console and you type in your URL. You prove that you're the owner of the URL through your DNS search records, whether it's GoDaddy, Cloudflare, Google domains, wherever it's there. It gets verified, and now you are verified that you're the owner, and you can look at this data. This is super important stuff. So you go to Google Search Console, search that, or just go to search.google.com. And boom, the first thing that pops up on the screen is the verification screen. You hit verify, you put in your domain name that you own, and now you have access to all the information. I want you to go in and play with this. The overview is where you kind of sit there. Kind of looks like your Google Ads account, but it's a little bit cleaner with completely different reports and shows you your web performance, day-to-day web indexing, performance, how many links are being connected, not being connected. And then there's some really cool stuff in here about performance and how your web is ranking overall. This is how you dictate whether you need to do ads, not need to do ads, do web search ads, do Google Max ads, whatever it may be. You can dictate this stuff so that people don't have to sell you marketing all the time telling you, you should be running Google ads. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. How do you know? You know it with the data and where you're at. If you're ranking high for all of your keywords, then you may not need to do an expensive ad campaign on Google. If you're not ranking at all, or you're a newer business, or you're trying to build your brand awareness, you may want to invest in this. It's going to be great for the growth of your business. Really important stuff. So keywords that really work in impressions, it shows you all of the top hitting keywords that you have. It'll show you, thousands, and by pages and by countries and where people are going on here. Please take a few minutes. This doesn't have to take you an hour, but please go on here and take a look at your keywords, know where they're at, know where people are clicking and hitting, and then what pages they're landing on, and then clean up those pages so that you convert them into clients. That's the whole point of marketing. Remember the marketing funnel when it comes to everything that we do, from our brand awareness to everything else. The first step in the funnel, the big top of the funnel, is awareness. This is where we spend a lot of our time and effort making sure the community around us knows about us. If we are a brick and mortar practice or a brick and mortar business, we have a geographical area that we serve. People won't travel 6 hours to come to you for getting their nails done. They won't do that. It's too far. So they may do it to get their hair done. If you're the best, hairstylist on the East Coast, then yeah, they might do that. But aside from that, when we do quick services, they won't. You got to stay close. And you know what I'm talking about. If you're a massage therapist or a chiropractor or a dentist, people won't travel too far to see you. It's within an hour. So we have that limitation there. If you're a brand that sells e-commerce online, you have a product that you sell online, right? Now you're geographical. Now you can go across countries. You can go across the entire country. You can do different things there. But the point with Google Console and our optimization is that it'll show you where they're landing, and then you can convert people. So your brand awareness is the key of this, and where you spend most of your time, making people aware of what you do. And by doing that is by constantly posting content. And when we think of that, we think of social media. We think, I got to post a lot of social media content. It's just an easy and free way to do it. Yes, should we be posting social media? Absolutely. How often? Every day. At least once a day, if not more. You should be posting so that people see it based on the algorithms and the feeds. You got to keep doing that. That's an easy, free way of getting awareness out there. Now you're going to say, well, now that consumes a lot of time. Well, what do? We trade time for money. So we can pay someone to buy us back our time and do this. But when it comes to social media content, there is no home run hitters out there to do your content for you. A lot of these companies charge thousands of dollars a month to do the content for you, and they're only posting 3, 4, 5 times a week at most. That's not daily. They're not doing any better than you. And they tell you, you should be posting as well and pay us to do the rest. Well, that sounds like a great business, but not for me. So can't do that. So I'm going to keep posting or paying my team to do that. And it's just part of their job duties to do that, to make sure one piece of content goes out every single day. Great rule to go. Then we have use other platforms. Maybe we shoot videos. We put them on our YouTube channel. And then those videos are saved on our YouTube channel. Then when we do Google search campaigns, or we post stuff on our Google page, or we allow Google to use our videos in our search campaigns, now we've got reusable content that doesn't take any more time, and we can boost that content out to our communities. That's the strategy when it comes to awareness. And there's knocking on doors. There's mailers. There's putting things on people's doors in your communities by zip code. EDDM marketing, which is direct mail marketing. We should get into a podcast about that. We should be doing that. It is a great way to market. But what we do as entrepreneurs is we always look on ROI immediately, immediate ROI. And we don't put in any facility, and we don't create any procedures and data sources to look long-term. And same thing with our short-term marketing on social media. We don't look long-term on what ends up happening. I find the easiest way to describe this to entrepreneurs is the email marketing agenda, where they get that. Everyone kind of gets the email marketing. It takes time to write an email. It takes time to send it, but they're free unless your CRM charges you a monthly fee for that. So they're free to send out. So you send these things out to your list, and hopefully you're growing your list all the time. It's free marketing to tell people about what you do and other things that you offer in your business. That people get, and then they understand the long game on that. Yes, if I just continue on some type of continuous marketing or emailing, eventually someone may buy. Well, that's the rule for all marketing. We need to keep an eye on this, even for our social media marketing, Google marketing. Everything is long-term. But when it comes to mailers, we need to have a distinct process on this with a QR code to do a distinct landing page where people will respond to call a number so that you know what the return on investment is. And typically, we say 1% should respond. That's what we typically should see from that. Makes sense on that. So there's awareness on the top of the funnel. The second piece of the funnel is consideration. Now that you've made yourself aware in your community, you got to get people to consider using your business. Now, how do you do that? The content strategy changes with consideration. So awareness is just stomping around, marching your feet with a boombox on your shoulder, walking, yeah, that's how old I am, down the street with loud music. What's going on there? Kind of like the ice cream truck analogy. You want to sell ice cream? We've got to make people aware that I exist. How do I make them aware? Put a loud music speaker on the top of my ice cream truck and blare it through the communities. That's awareness. Consideration is now the menu that is slapped on the side of the truck. Well, what am I going to consider here? There's loud music. I'm seeing you. I'm aware that you're coming down the street. That's annoying sound. But what you got? What are you doing? Now the menu board is where you see and people consider you. And consideration plays a lot of things. That truck's not going to stay there forever. So now it's time commitment. Now it's a time crunch. There's FOMO. You're going to fear of missing out. If it drives out of your community, what are you going to do? Chase this thing down on your tricycle? Not going to happen. So that's the consideration phase you need to think about in your business. So what type of content are you going to post for people to consider calling you? It changes a little bit. Now this is where you bring value. Please do a little bit of both all the time. If you're an established business that's been around 5, 10, 20 years, the awareness campaign efforts can minimize a little bit, and you can really funnel into the consideration phase of your funnel in this and really spend a lot of your time getting people to consider why to use you. And this is your value stack or your unique selling propositions that you give to your community. What makes you different? What makes you different? I'm going to really hammer into our profession right now about insurance. If you take insurance, you're an idiot. The reason why you're an idiot is because insurance reimbursements have been the exact same since 1998. You can look it up yourself. They've been paying Medicare around the same schedule. They've been paying Cigna around the same schedule and United Healthcare around the same schedule since 1999 to 2006. Some of the changes that happened there have not changed since then. We've gone through inflation. We've gone through pandemics. Nothing has changed. No one's getting paid anymore. But your cost to do business, tuition, everything, people who graduated in 2001 versus 2021 have a completely different tuition repay schedule. It's completely different. So we're allowing them to keep this old model. We keep signing up for to be in network with these companies that are like, listen, we're never going to increase your pay rate. So suck it. And you're like, yeah, tell me where to suck. And you do it. And you sign up and you get these reimbursements at these outdated prices. And then you now have a new patient crisis where you need tons of these new patients to come in the door. And you're in this new patient hamster wheel all the time because you're so heavily influxed with that. The point of this is the consideration phase where I went with all this is that menu board. Having a little bit about everything. Do you need to be out of network from everything? No, you can pick the best ones and stay in there. But if you have a variety of services, if you have a variety of things, that's great. But you can't charge more if everyone else of your competitors is doing the same thing. If every other chiropractor gives adjustments and does heat and sends people home, and that's exactly what you offer, and you're in the same networks and you do the same thing, you're going to have to compete with them on every level. You're going to have to compete on price. You're going to have to compete on plans. You're going to have to compete on service, on time. You're just literally competing with the next level people on the exact same level as you. Doesn't make any sense. If you break your away from this, now you can really hone in on your unique selling proposition. Be like, listen, there's no wait times. We're open late and you just value stack this stuff. And we take care of kids and we're certified in this and this. Our competition's not. You would be dumb to see them. Come see us. Now you can charge more. Well, why do you charge so much? Do you take insurance? We charge a lot because we're better. And do you take insurance? No, because they won't pay it. Like, oh, the system actually works. Otherwise, you cannot charge more. Does that make sense? So the consideration phase, there's a lot of different strategies there. Or you go all in on insurance. You're part of every network there and you try and accumulate as many new patients as possible. There's that. There's the old style way of practice, and then there's the new, and then there's a little bit of everything that you can really do. But think about that in your consideration phase about what your ideal client is looking for. Truly, is your ideal client the one that's looking to use the 6 or 10 visits that are allowed in their insurance plan? Is that your ideal client? If it is, you should be in those plans. If it's not, you should get out of those plans. Make sense? That's what it meant. The reason I'm bringing this in is because it's really part of our industry, but two, it messes up your entire funneling of marketing. Where do you spend money? Where do you not spend money? What do you do? If you're in insurance networks, do I really spend all this money on capturing everyone that may be not in these networks? Like, you're wasting money and you're wasting effort and you waste time. And that's where burnout comes in. Make sense? Okay. Probably not. The consideration phase is so convoluted and for marketing, for me to try and bring that into our industry, I sounded convoluted in that little section. The awareness made sense. Consideration is so important. Then we get conversion. This is what I think a lot of you understand is the conversion phase. If somebody clicks on my ad, I want them to book an appointment and come in and see me. That's called conversion. So now we've got awareness, consideration. People are now considering your services. They're like, okay, I'm going to try out these guys. And now we have to have a conversion type funnel for them to go into. And that can be directly on Google search, clicking your link, and then your phone number pops up and they call you, or they go straight to your website and there's a book now page and they do that. Contact us page, they do that. That is our conversion phase. How do we make it easy for them to go from considering us to converting? And that's where your marketing, ad copy, your marketing strategy in the marketing that you do plays a role. And I think that's where most of my clients and most of the people that I talk to that have questions, they want to start the conversation there. And I have to back it up to awareness and consideration. And still, we end up spending so much time on conversion because everyone just wants new patients through the door. We get it. But there is no magic wand that you just float in the air that gets you new patients to walk through the door. It's a system. And the stronger and well-built the system is, the better the foundation is, the better the entire marketing system works. And then I think half of you consider this, half of you completely are aloof to this, but the end of this funnel, the bottom peak of the funnel is loyalty. So a client becomes aware, they consider you, you convert them one way or another with an ad, a promo, an email, they were referred straight to your office, they converted, and now it's the loyalty where every single day you show up to work. This is the purpose of why you go to work every single day, why you go to your office is how do I create such value that people stay loyal to chiropractic and to me and to my office or to my services. That is where you spend most of your energy. But guess what? Time and money is all spent on everything else and not loyalty. So a lot to unpack in this podcast. But it was so important. I thought we'd go in there. But go to the Google Search Console. Take a look at it. Super cool. And let me know what you think. Give me some feedback on that. Have a great week, guys. Keep doing what you're doing. You all rock. Take care.